seconds. He didn't like this. Didn't like feeling out of control of the situation. He let people see only what he allowed, but somehow this girl had walked into the room, said 8 words, and thrown him off his game. Well, she sat back in her chair and winked at him. I guess the nickname Trigger is appropriate in more ways than one. Connor sat back down and dug his fingers into his knee, forcing himself to show no outward reaction. He hated the nickname she'd just christened him with, but he'd be damned before he let her know. Your name, please. Her lips twitched. So formal, aren't you, baby? A flicker of calculation entered her eyes before disappearing, but it told him to expect her next move. She dragged her full lower lip between her teeth and propped both feet up on the table, giving him a view of her thighs that clogged the breath in his throat. She crossed her feet at the ankles, but not before he glimpsed where those legs led. The tiny patch of denim covering her pussy. Call me whatever you want. Just don't expect me to answer. Jesus Christ. If she made him any harder, he'd have to excuse himself. I wouldn't say your name unless I had a good reason. She swayed her feet back and forth. Give me your best one. The urge to shift in his seat was strong. You've already looked right at it. Her feet stilled. He caught a flash of surprise and uncertainty, confusing the hell out of him. Had he read her signals wrong? One minute she was challenging him, and the next she looked frozen in the headlights. Or maybe he'd just called her bluff? His ability to read people had been his saving grace more than once since being dishonorably discharged from the SEALs 2 years ago. Working as a street enforcer in Brooklyn for his cousin's underground crime ring, the skills he'd honed in the Navy had been utilized on a daily basis, often in ways he didn't like to recall, but forced himself to anyway. To remember what he'd been reduced to. But reading this girl was difficult, even for him. She'd flashed her thighs at him, as if wanting a reaction, but when he'd given it to her, she'd clammed up. Whatever the reason, he refused to show another ounce of interest. He wasn't interested. This girl couldn't scream trouble any louder. He was through with trouble. Done. So, she finally recovered her entertained expression. What kind of peace were you reaching for when I walked in? He simply narrowed his eyes at her. Hey, you're preaching to the choir. They took my favorite Ruger. She pouted. Has my initials painted in whiteout on the side and everything. Oh, I get it now. She's crazy. Why are you here? His abrupt question didn't faze her. 3 o'clock meeting, same as you. Some people just don't value punctuality. The way she smirked when she said it made him think she'd read his mind upon walking into the room. But that was impossible. Who the fuck was this girl? A tempting weapons enthusiast who also happened to be perceptive? He needed to know more. Just enough to solve the formula she presented, so he could pack up his curiosity and store it away. I wasn't asking why you're in this room. What landed you on this squad? She inspected her fingernails. Ah, the old, what are you in for conversation. I don't want to play. Her boots abruptly hit the ground. Just kidding, I'm in. But you have to go first. Nope. Impasse, she whispered, walking her fingers across the table. I could guess why you're here, but you dislike that more than simply telling me. Connor said nothing. He would dislike that. Guesswork had always been a source of irritation for him. He dealt only in facts. Again, he got the feeling this girl saw more than most people. The air of mayhem she wore like a second skin probably made people underestimate her. He wouldn't be one of them. You have a military background. But you're not there now, are you? She leaned across the table and he caught a whiff of smoke. Not cigarette smoke, like the strike of a match or the lingering scent of incense. It isn't difficult math, soldier. Don't call me that. You don't like trigger, baby, or soldier.